Okay, we're here. Everything's happening. Yeah, who's here? Who's gonna watch? Who's gonna watch me play more World's End Cup? I don't know. Oh yeah, I guess another thing, I guess it's a little early. That's because I had some unexpected work shifts today and tomorrow, when normally I would have streamed more in the afternoon, but it would have gotten in the way of my shifts, so I decided to stream a little earlier and also on Saturday, because why not? So yeah, hopefully that's not too big of a problem. It is. I did notice that it was 420. I do not celebrate, but it is what it is. I saw a heart, so someone's here, but no one in chat that I can see yet. Oh well. Yeah, I guess to go over some channel stuff is I've recorded my Danganronpa video. I'm pretty satisfied with the script, so that's happening. Um, then I guess that's it for right now. Because yeah, I'm just continuing these streams. Oh, the Weep Club's going on hiatus. Venture's going on hiatus. For various reasons, mostly scheduling conflicts, and then the In the Den with Hot Boy Spicy's still going. So anyway, but yeah, no one's in chat, so I'm just gonna play, I guess. There's no one's active in chat. Yeah. Oh, there's I'm doing good, thank you, SciADV guy. I'm glad to hear you're doing all right. Thanks for joining me yet again. God, okay, so I gotta say something. I fucking hate the heart in the YouTube chat window because it keeps blocking the text, or like sometimes if I needed to be a the little options thing on the side, I literally can't click it with the heart there. So I literally can't read a word in your message, IDV guy, because the heart's there and I literally can't tell like into an entire blank in a few seconds. I don't know. What? Oh, it's a fucking lewd joke, isn't it? Because Shuko likes Kansai. Oh, okay. How a single idea can branch out into an entire story in a few seconds. Okay, that's what I was trying to like. What STO heart? I can't fucking read it. Yeah, and there doesn't seem to be the option to move it or remove it. It's literally in the worst spot, like literally the worst spot. I can't like. I mean, I guess the middle would be worse, but like, come on, come on, come on. Like, can it just be like in the message bar next to the send? Like, you just click heart and next to send, and it just sends the heart. Like, come on. It has to be right there. And it's been like this for a while too, and they haven't fixed it. God damn it. There's a joke like this in Zero Escape that's pretty good. Instead, she's really just talking about Hammer's face. But Chuko is filthy. As am I guess. Oh yeah, I need to pull up my list, I guess, but I did. The reason Chuko's voice actor sounded familiar to me is it's because she voices Sarada in Boruto, And then once I was like, oh fuck, okay, that makes sense.
マジシャンは手品の種を絶対に明かさんやろ。それと同じや。はあ、なるほど。そういうことなら、どういう理屈よ。でもってなんでそれで納得する？兵長、私がバカだったわ。こいつらこういうやつだったわよね。
Oh yeah, I guess some other stuff I've been up to is like a little earlier today I played a bit more of played my first Persona game, not my first Shin Megami Tensei game, um, but it's been pretty neat so far. There's some little things I like about it, like there's like a kind of grid formation aspect to the planning your team and what they can attack and stuff, which I kind of like. Um, uh, it's neat, especially with how it affects like being attacked from ambushed from behind. Um, Generally though, it's really easy. Um, Thus far, I think there was one encounter with an enemy that sacrificed itself that really fucked me over, but you know, I just treat that enemy a bit more carefully, and I do like how I guess the way the cost of magic versus how much MP you have, and then the level up healing up your health and stuff. It just makes it. And plus, the enemies having a lot of weaknesses to magic and resistances to just your basic um, attacks and stuff. Just I don't know. I feel way more incentivized to use magic, especially after just playing Dragon Quest V, where it's magic tends to cost more MP and you don't heal after you level up. Uh, and also it's harder to regenerate your MP. Like the items they either restore way less, like very little MP, or they break, or they're it's very MP is a more of a precious resource in Dragon Quest. So and also most enemies you can just smack to death anyway. um, yeah, I definitely the leveling. I definitely see an issue with that, just because it's like Maki has the fucking the rapid fire skill, which does like huge amounts of fucking like easily a lot of damage. So and she also has a lot. But then the thing is, it's not only like do the characters who do more damage and get more get more experience, but because they get more experience, they level up their attributes, and then they do so now they're faster, so they're more likely to move first. Do all the you literally have to just not use them to level up your other characters, and I'm like, that's kind of fucking annoying. Yeah, I much prefer everyone getting more balance. Yeah, no, especially fucking Nanjo has he finally became useful because he got the Makarunda, the magic buff spell, and around the same time all my characters got like more wide area magic spells, so that's really helpful. But he's not especially if what I gather the experience they get more experience when they do more damage to enemies, which means that supporters and healers inherently are going to be getting less experience. Yeah, very very strange choice. Very strange choice. I'm not a fan of it yet. It's not really bad per se right now, but especially early game I don't maybe if I grinded out more cards and stuff, I could because my characters are hitting the point where their first personas are at max rank, so they're good to have, but not obviously there's way better spells in the game. I need to at some point swap out my personas. And I only just got to the Velvet Room today, and I fused a persona and I couldn't use it. So yeah, I think because my persona's level's not high enough, but I don't know, maybe I misunderstood the mechanic there. So yeah, I don't know. I still need to figure out some stuff with mechanics, but like I said, luckily, maybe I don't know. RPGs in general aren't generally aren't very hard, but maybe it's also partly the way I play them, because I never skip, almost never skip random encounters, and I don't know, I do wish the auto battle was a little faster, but some of the animations, like the hula, the one dance, the luck down dance is like just the monster pulls out the pom poms. Like it's funny. Like I don't hate seeing it.
それが何者なのかわからないけど、
Um, uh,
街がこんな風になった原因と関係しているのは間違いないと思う。
and it's definitely interesting because like from what I hear about the later like Persona 3 onward, it definitely feels like more of a, you know, it's definitely more of a sequel like or a spiritual successor to Shin Megami Tensei if than it is a, you know, what Persona would become. So I'm definitely curious as to seeing how that changes. I don't think I'm gonna get to Persona 3 this year. But I'll probably start it early next year. But maybe I'll surprise myself and play these games way faster than I thought. Um, and yeah, I mean, generally, I think a lot of people go to Persona 1 having played the later Persona games. So, you know, less often you have people playing other Shin Megami Tensei games first, because, so, but even then, like, I don't know, there's still so, yeah, I don't know, there's some interesting things about it, and then there's, like, that I like, and there's some things about it I don't care for, so I'm a little, I don't know, I'll see how, especially, like, how much I click with the story and characters is, definitely going to, you know, affect how I feel about the game. Which as I'm into it, like I'm down. It's also funny that it's like, oh, is this about like you know the anxieties of high school or leaving high school, and you know they bring up the Persona thing a lot, and I'm just like, this is a little like Danganronpa, that though it came out like a decade beforehand, obviously on the PlayStation. But yeah, we'll see.
その話だけど、やっぱり信じられないの。
Because I got through the civic building and met Kandori and Kondori, and they then got warped back to the school, and that's where I am right now.
合理的に考えて、霊なんているはずがないもの。そうそう、死んで幽霊になるんだったら、今頃幽霊だらけになっちゃってるわよ。さすがにこの年になって幽霊を信じろって言われてもね。仮にいたとして、私たちには見えないし、触れもしない。
Oh shit! I literally just like, wait a minute, hold on. Because what I'm doing with my Danganronpa video right now is because I start out kind of talking more broadly about certain things, and to represent that I wanted to use a bunch of like different anime and stuff, but I just realized I could actually use footage from Persona possibly for a one of the points that, or one of the observations I make. So I don't know, it's just the thinking out loud, like, wait a minute, hold on, I could, because I've been like, what anime do I use for this? And it's like I could use Persona. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, at least this thing might be dealing with the same idea in a sense. I don't know how it's going to deliver on it or follow up on it, but I still got way more of the game to go. But
でもその理屈で言えば、いないことも証明できないでしょ。悪魔の証明ってわけ。じゃあ言い換えるわ。いる可能性は極めて低いってね。霊女たちは見えたんだよね。バニラの幽霊。ちょっと、タッツンは信じたわけ？ん？うん。正直言うと、半信半疑。
I guess the other game I've been playing is Lies of P, which it's like it just feels like a FromSoft game. Like obviously it's not, and there's you know individual differences, but just like when I pick it up and go run around and pick up items and fight enemies and run the boss, it's like it feels I play it exactly like I do one of the FromSoft game. You know, like the other day I was stuck on a boss for like half an hour-ish and just fighting it and just like I don't know, I feel like I've reached a very zen point with the Souls games where like not that I never get frustrated. Like there was once I was like literally like one or two hits from killing the boss, and it hit me with an attack I know I can like block, parry or you know perfect guard properly, because I've done it before. So I was more mad at myself, you know. But like I don't know. I feel like in those you know in the FromSoft games where death really doesn't matter as much, especially oh my god, the fact that they put the Lies of P equivalent of a bloodstain outside of the boss room is like there's so many like little changes that I'm like I really hope FromSoft takes just steals these going forward. And I hope I don't know. It also made me think like because I feel like I've known of other quote unquote Souls likes, like the Surge, Nioh, have all have been, you know, those games have been compared. A friend of mine like says the Surge 2 is like is also really good, but I haven't played it. But it, you know, Lies of P is making me think like maybe I should check more of those out. Maybe I should check more of those out, just because it's like I really like the Souls games, and I really like just that gameplay loop, and especially you know going through the one for the first time, you can you know there's only so many times I'm gonna be able to do that. So yeah, Lies of P has been pretty cool in that way so far. Okay, haven't missed anything. Just double checking. I guess this also kind of works like I mean I do remember what happened last time, but yeah, it's a little bit of recap. You could say just he's so angry. Bitter is probably the better word actually. Oh yeah, I guess more just backlog stuff I've been going through is because I mean part of the reason I'm going through like Pinocchio related stuff anyways because I was talking with Vindy and he you know he read I think he's already read Pinocchio and obviously he played Liza P first. So I did read Pinocchio myself, but I also there's the Jacob Geller video um, about Pinocchio when he goes through a few of its adaptations. He goes through the original book and several of its adaptations, and I wrote a few down because I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. I did watch AI Artificial Intelligence, the Steven Spielberg movie that was previously being worked on by Alfred Hitchcock before. I think that's the yeah, I think so. Before he passed away. And it became one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't know, I really like the generally speaking, I tend to like stuff with like, you know, non-human characters like grappling with humanity in some ways, and just like in this case where you know the main character David, he you know he loves humans, but humans don't. You know, he's a robot. He's an object. He's something to be discarded. So he's not he doesn't receive love in the same way. And I don't know, just like the first like 2 hours of the movie were just like crushing because he ultimately wants something that can't and slash won't be given to him, and then there's like a late last act twist that definitely at first I was like, are they really doing this? But it really paid off emotionally, and I don't know, I was just really engaged with the whole movie, and it was a good ass time. Um, she's so stupid. Pi, you're really not helping. You're not the mastermind case. Like, man, I wish I could just say whatever was on my mind. Like, I'm the fucking mastermind. I don't know. I really do feel like she's more of a red herring though. But like, she's just so suspicious. Like, she's drawing it all to her. Um, oh yeah, yeah. I've been on a very disgusting Jacob Geller kick. I've watched probably a good 80% of his videos, roughly, maybe more. Like it's to the point that probably within the next couple weeks I will have watched them all because I'm able to like mostly kind of in the background at work, because I have a lot of downtime, or I'm doing something that where I can just have my AirPods in and just listen to his videos, which it definitely takes away because there's some really good visual elements there, but you know, uh, there's so many, yeah. But I mean, it happens. It's not normally, it's not abnormal either. It's like very common to have them on in the background. And there's definitely moments where I'll like, wait, hold on, yeah, and it's not that I'm never watching them. It's just that it's not unusual for me to not be watching them. But yeah, no, his Art for No One video was really good. I mean, I I also really like the Beginner's Guide. Not quite one of my like favorite games, but I do really like it. Um, so of course that one comes up, and it's just interesting idea, and like him getting to go. I don't know. He likes architecture, and so getting to go to this like gigantic sculpture, just that's just an empty city. Pretty much is just like it's and getting to chronicle that through a video is it was really neat. Um, Trying to think. Oh, his one on immortality made me think like I should maybe play this fucking game and also research some of the context beforehand because I just really vibed with its kind of some of its messaging. Um, oh shit, sorry. Noticed something about the game. I'm actually paying attention to the game now. I wonder how the game is gonna give us a because like I expect we're gonna get all the characters' abilities somehow. Um, I mean, the world map does have like a branching, like I could go back and replay stuff, so maybe I'm supposed to go back and play the other routes that I didn't do at some point. Um, anyway, yeah, back to Jacob. What are some other videos of his that I've liked? He made me a bit more interested in Wolfenstein, talking about it in like his um oh, which videos were they? Holy shit! I've watched so many of his videos that just like trying to call attention to them just by their names is like, or call attention to their names just like trying to remember their content it is rough for me right now. But I don't know. He just has a lot of interesting videos. Oh, the Call of Duty one, honestly, is actually no, that was a mistake. It was meant to be part 4. I don't know why I wrote part 3. I'll fix it. I don't. No, yeah, I can't. I can't. I don't think I can fix it right now. Or wait, maybe I can fix it right here. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Nope. I can't. Or wait, hold on. Maybe I can. Nope. Yeah, I don't see an edit stream button. So it'll have to wait. It'll have to wait. Yeah, no, I will fix it after the stream's done. But yeah, it's meant to be part 4. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad someone at least said something. That means you're paying attention. But yeah, if anything, like Jacob Geller, like his videos are just so like they're not only good, but he has so many of them that picking a favorite is difficult. Because a lot of them are really interesting, and I've definitely picked up a few games where it's like I might want to play that. Um, and he, he generally talks about a lot of other stuff too, like movie. Not like I don't know. I like how he will like he has like the fear of cold videos where he doesn't talk about a specific thing, but he talks about a lot of different things that relate to the idea. Or and he does that in a lot of his other videos too, like or even like obviously a big Dark Souls 3 is thinking of ending things where he's talking about Dark Souls 3 and then a movie, or he's pretty thorough. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. He does a lot of good stuff, and when I think of certain video ideas or scripts, there's definitely part of me that's like maybe feeling like, oh no, his influence is creeping in. I don't know how it's actually gonna manifest itself, because he's really good at speaking. Like I remember there was one video where he's reading off of a book, and then someone noticed that like you could actually see in other parts of the video that like the book is blank. He's not actually reading off of a book. He's reading from memory. I can't do that. I cannot read from memory. I cannot read from a script that well that like eloquently. I don't have. I'm not really a good speaker. I think that probably shows when I'm trying to get a point across in a podcast or on stream because there's a lot of stammering and pausing and I'm not awful, I guess, because I think I can sometimes get my point across. So I basically that's translating to like I can't put myself on camera because I can't like I literally just I can't fucking talk. Outside of like the way I do right now where I'm just speaking at a microphone and saying it until it sounds right and praying that it sounds right. Because it's not unusual for me to have to go back and re-record lines because they sounded bad. Chuko's good. Oh, it's gonna be the fucking marketing drink, isn't it? Yep. See, now that I know it's a real drink, it's just like the fucking product placement. Oh my fucking god, do they have like a quota of like how many times they have to advertise how like fucking cool this drink is? Jesus Christ. Oh, go away. All right, we're done. We're done with that. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, yeah. I guess if I take influence from Jacob Gell, I guess yeah. I don't know where it will show up. There was definitely one idea a video idea that I still don't know if I'm going to talk about or not. I guess it'll come up when I do my here's my video ideas to my Patreon. But it's definitely a little more political than usual, but I don't know how I'm gonna handle that or whatever. But I definitely remember thinking about that video and like, hey, I should do this after watching some of Jacob Geller's stuff. Because he does a lot of like, here's like this game and the ideas that are here, but more importantly, like here's why they're important in reality. And I really like how he'll use it. He'll bridge it to like the design for violence one, where he talks a lot about like school shootings and bridging the idea of like, hey, video games like the chest high walls in Gears of War, you can see that these places are designed for violence, and then associating that with like anti-school shooting measures being built into schools that look like fucking prisons, and yeah, it's just Jacob Geller he does good work, and I have a list of YouTubers I need to watch more of. And I'll probably move to that after finishing Jacob Geller's videography because I'm almost caught up. Without doing Nebula, I don't have money to spend on that, and I don't really feel like it, honestly. Honestly, if I went to Nebula, I would probably watch Lindsay Ellis first because she's been doing stuff over there and not on YouTube at all. And yeah, she's good, and it's been a while since I really watched one of her videos. I did watch like the 15 minutes or so of the Beatles Yoko Ono one she did, and I was like, oh yeah, that's really good. But it's like, yeah, and also, I just have I download YouTube videos onto my phone and watch them that way. so I don't have to fuck with connections and stuff. And I don't know that I could do that off of Nebula. So even if I had Nebula, it would be way less convenient for me to watch stuff off of Nebula. Okay, I think we're done. Wait, why did... Okay, I just didn't know. Okay, no, it does that always. Okay, I didn't notice the like purple outline appearing around the text, the name bubble. Pinocchio True Story? I don't know. Is that the is that the fucking movie he talked about briefly in Jacob Geller briefly talked about in his Pinocchio video that he didn't like and was teasing like, hey, if you want to see me just shit all over this movie, watch this video on Nebula. If that's not what it is, then I don't know what Pinocchio True Story is. Okay, that is the one. All right. And I'm not watching the fucking the live action one either. um. Jesus. Jesus. Okay, I guess we're getting Anaki's power because he is pissed off. Holy fuck. He's so edgy. Oh, well, I mean, yeah, he did lose his sister, but, oh, I see. He's afraid of making connections. So his edgy fucking shit is to keep. Oh my god, look at him, he's small. Oh fuck, the marshmallows. That was the yeah, in the death game part. Oh, she's based. See, there it is. I don't know. My funniest story about pineapple on pizza is I was talking to my friend, my best friend, and we've talked about some shit. Like there's definitely been there's no, nothing we can't talk about that kind of friend. But he was like awkward about saying that he liked pineapple on pizza because to him it felt like more of a politicized issue than all the other shit we talked about. Oh no. It's funny that like he looks so much younger just because his hair is shorter and I don't know, his outfit's different. Even though like everyone else looks identical. Oh my god, they're the same. They're the fucking in the same grade. Yep. Nobody went with Vanilla and she ended up fucking dead, huh?
もうちゃんたらちゃんと野菜も食べなきゃダメじゃない。ああ、はいはい、そうですかそうですか。だったらもうバニラ一人で行ってくるからいいもんねーと。みんなのバカ、この白状者。
Fucking Truck-kun! Motherfucker.
翌日、夏休みだったが、我々は学校の教室に集められることになった。そこで担任の教師がこう言ったんだ。残念だが、バニラには二度と会うことはできない。バニラは天国に行った。
Thanks, I guess, for the picture.
違うよ。兄貴のせいなんかじゃないわ。
もし誰かのせいだって言うなら、あの時あの場にいたみんなのせいさ。
I guess I'm still quite curious. Maybe I was talking about this last time, but because there's the death game, there's the apocalypse, Yuki falling from the sky, everyone working through the grief of Vanilla's death. Like, I'm kind of curious as to how all these like elements are gonna come together in the end. Because right now it's a bit disparate. Oh, there's the fucking cult. Like, I don't know. There's so much disparate shit that it's like, I don't know. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it does or doesn't come together. Aniki kept Vanilla away, and she died. And now he's gonna keep everybody else away, and everybody's gonna be fine. It's flawless logic there. But no, he's just avoiding the pain. I know. I'm reading Bleach. Like, yeah, as far as like stories about people dealing with grief, it's like, yep, there is, it is what it is.
バニラのことを考えなかった日など、一日たりともありはしない。
みんな同じよ。私たちはみんな胸が張り裂けそうなぐらい。ポチ、パイ、レイチョ。3人はずっとバニラと会ってたんだよね。バニラ、どんな様子だった？
どんなって聞かれても答えるのが難しいけど、とにかく前と同じように明るくて無邪気で。
旅の間もずっと？そうだね。バニラは普段通りいつもと変わらない感じだったよ。鹿児島の海底遊園地で目覚めた時からずっと。実はあの時ポットから一番最初に出てきたの。だからあの時はまだ周りには誰もいなくて、それで心細く思ってたらバニラが声かけてくれた。
なんやねん突然。
どうしたの？私思い出しちゃったかも。何よ。犯人さんのこと。
Oh shit. Okay.
あの遊園地で私たちにデスゲーム。
Vanilla was the mastermind.
いきなりすぎて頭が追いついていかないけど、とにかく聞こうではないか。一体誰なんだ？
驚かないで聞いてほしいんだけど、あの時の犯人さんのバニラ
You're gonna have to explain that. Wait a minute. Hold on. Spirit of Vengeance Vanilla. Is that what they're doing? No. No, she was... Well, I was joking about that, but now I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, that's it? That's it? Also, what's with the star? Is the star mean... Huh. Does the star mean like 100%ed, maybe? So I'm doing shit, because yeah, I haven't 100%ed all of the, I don't know. You can explain more. The fucking deer. Okay, they're painted. I just thought they were standing there.
なんでバニラはワイらにデスゲームなんてことを。だから何度も言ったけど詳しいことはわからないんだってば。
あの海底遊園地で目覚めた時、その時にパイはバニラと話したんだよね。
話したって言ってもほんの数分程度のことだったし。これからみんなにはデスゲームをしてもらわなきゃいけないの。準備はすでに整えてあるから、あとはみんながポットから出てくるのを待つだけ。時間がないから詳しいことは省略するけど、とにかくこれはみんなの洗脳を解くためにどうしても必要なことなんだよ。
Wait a minute, hold on.
あの時の我々が洗脳されていたのは間違いない。
So
危機的な状況に陥ら
so the go-getters were brainwashed. Not unlike how the cult was brainwashed, possibly, though for a different reason. They were brainwashed to be shitty to each other. So Vanilla put them into that situation to break the brainwashing, I guess. Okay.
なんでバニラはそんなことをパイに
Which, of course, doesn't answer the question of why they were brainwashed in the first place.
安心して。デスゲームって言ってももちろん本気で殺し合いをさせるつもりなんてないから。つまりこれはある種のドッキリみたいな。
It's just a prank, bro.
だけどもしかしたら本当に誰かが死にかけちゃったりするかもしれないでしょ。そんなことになったらめちゃめちゃ困るから。要するにパイは不測の事態が発生
That does not explain Penelope, though, because she's still around and being a shit.
バニラって幽霊さんじゃない？だから生身の肉体を持った協力者がどうしても必要だったみたいで。例の存在か。科学者の娘としては到底受け入れがたいけど。バニラさんの存在を信じるってことですか？ええ、私も同じ。バニラは本当に私たちのそばにいたのね。今の話、ポツとレイチョは。
もちろん知らなかったよ。
旅の間にバニラからは何も。
聞いてない。
どうしてバニラは本当のこと教えてくれなかったんだろう。
バニラが洗脳のことやその解き方を知っていたのも不思議よね。なんでなんですか、パイさん。さあ、バニラに会って直接聞いてみないことにはって言うてる間に大仏さんの前に来たで。うわ、大きいな。
Did he just make your mom joke to himself?
なんでやねん。そんなわけあるかーい。ここは奈良県奈良市。
No one gave a shit about their little Mansei
大
bit.
仏殿だよ。
我々の最終目的地は言うまでもなく東京だ。そこへと至るためには名古屋を経由するのが一番近いわけだが、
その途中にあったのがここ奈良県奈良市だったのよね。で、せっかく来たんだからお参りでもしていかないってことになって。
このお寺の大仏殿に。
というわけで早速だけど参拝しよっか。
ああ、せやな。
お願いします、仏様。世界が
Okay, some of these kids are gonna pray for some stupid ass shit. Yep. Priorities. Aniki has no wishes, no prayers. He's so edgy. Oh my god. Fuck. Hold on, wait, why can't I remember the movie? Stand By Me.
列車なんてこうへんから。いや、そういう意味じゃなくてさ、線路の敷地内には立ち入ってはならない。これって絶対に守らなきゃいけないルールでしょ?
Also, it's literally all the boys.
人間はほとんどみんないなくなっちゃったんだよ。
この世界にはもうルールなんてありゃしねえのさ。
でもだからって何でもできるってことにはならないでしょ。例えばどこかの民家に土足で上がり込んで畳の上におしっことかできる。
できる。
それじゃゲームセンターにある麻雀のゲームを一人でやったりとか。余裕やろ。
楽勝だな。
みんないつの間にそんなに不良になっちゃったの？タッツンがクソ真面目なだけやろ。信じられない。お母さん。
Good boy energy.
それで中華さんはどうなんですか？
Yuki's walk cycle. Something about it is funny to me.
何のこと？もうとぼけないでくださいよ。好きな人のことです。
そんなの言わなくてもわかるじゃない。
関西だよね。
It's failing the Bechdel test. They're talking only about boys.
誰があんな虎柄の金焼きオタクのことなんか。そっか、関西さんじゃないんですね。
ま、そういうことにしといてやろう。
ゆきちゃんは関西のことどう思ってるの？
関西はユキに気があるみたいだけどね。
Chuka's gonna fucking die.
それは良かったです。だって私も関西さんのこと大好きですから。ちょっとあんた、マジで言ってる。
あんな低能でガサツで無神経で全裸で廊下を走り回ったり、鼻から牛乳ドクドク出したり、雨の日子犬の匂いがしたり、授業中にうんち漏らしたりするようなやつの一体どこがいいっていうのよ。
She's so stupid.
中古さん？なんか誤解してるみたいですけど、私は関西さんのことだけじゃなくて、もーちゃんさんのことも、タッツーさんのことも、ニョロさんのことも、兄貴さんのことも、レイチョさんのことも、ジェンヌさんのことも、コチさんのことも、ハイさんのことも、それからもちろん、
Yuki is precious.
みんな頑張れ組全員のことが大好き。
まったく中古は乙女なやつだ。
それじゃあ聞くけど、ジェンヌはどうなの？
愛するものか？もちろん存在しているとも。
それって
例えるならそれは野に咲く可憐な一輪の花、あるいは 青な空を駆け抜けていく
Harem. Based?
例えられても全然わからないけど。
要するにそういったものの中で私は愛を感じるということさ。
ジェンヌらしいわね。
いいかお前ら。絶対女子たちには言うんやないで。ワイとユキちゃんが将来結ばれる運命にあるってこと。
凄まじいポジティブ。
一番やばいタイプ。
で、もーちゃんは
僕は実は一番気になってるのはニョロなんだよね。
ニョロそっかそっか。もーちゃんはニョロのことが好きなんか。
もうなんで笑うんだよ。
ああ、すまんすまん。なんちゅうか、そのニョロって恋愛対象にならへんような気がしてたさかい。
どうして？あんなに死ぬほど可愛いのに。
かわいい。
可愛いじゃないか。モンブランの上に乗ってるマロングラス。
Oh my god, fucking the food.
それにニョロって意外と優しいんだよ。
Gotta get real. It's not a trope I love. Really, is fat character who's just considerably obsessed with food. Hard for me to really vibe with a character like that, I guess.
だったらそういうタッツンはどうなのさ。
絶対女子たちには言わないでよ。約束だからね。ああ、男同士の。それじゃあ
Like, if you're gonna have a character with a big, deep obsession about it, at least make him a fucking otaku about it or something, like, really deep into it. Like, there's like 2 whole chapters in Witch Watch where a character is just really, really into, like, raw denim jeans. And they're basically, like, there aren't even really any jokes. It's just, the chapters are just explaining, like, the appeal of raw denim jeans. Like, yeah, but obviously it's just like 2 chapters where the character's got a lot more other stuff going on, but I don't know. Yep. He fucking yelled it to the sky.
私はポチよ。ポチが好き。即答ですね。だって頑張れ組の男子の中で一番クールでイケてるのはポチじゃない？そうかしら。
Also, it's like Yuki's arm isn't clipping with Chuko's hairband, but it is like it's going like around it. Like, I don't know, it's it looks funny.
ってことはもしかしてパイも？ああ、いや、確かにお友達としてはいいと思うけど。
異性としては見れない。
ごめんね。別に謝らなくてもいいけどさ。それじゃあパイさんは。
Oh, that's awesome. No, I like just that specificity. Like, that's the thing about the specificity is like, so yeah, that's really cool that someone who really cared about it, like, hey, that they like that chapter, because I'm sure the author did their research and really understood all, like, it was so detailed, and the fact that there's multiple chapters about it, and it even showed up for a little bit in other chapters. Like, there's another chapter where Moy was like, he was hit with the unlucky magic, and at one of the parts I remember, just like, obviously like bad luck things were happening to him, and he was just completely cool with all of it because that was just like his mindset. Like, he got paint splattered on his jeans, but it like turned it out to be like a really cool looking like spatter, and he was just like, oh yeah, that's awesome. Like, it's but it's like specifically that it's on his fucking raw denim jeans. It's like, I don't know, it was good. Oh, Pi likes Aniki? Okay. The softest looking girl, like the edgiest looking boy. That's so, yeah, I don't know. Fun dynamic. He likes toxic shoujo. Leave her alone. She's like, I can fix him. Okay, she likes the old self. She wants to bring it back. She wants to fix it. Like, what the fuck?
そっかそっか。
Oh, it's mutual.
だから違えって
Cute.
今バニラって聞こえたよね。
ああ、行ってみよう。
That's a scare cord.
なんか寂しくなって戻ってきちゃった。
You little shit. Man, being dead sucked. I thought I'd come back. But I guess like now that everyone knows that they can see her, that changes the dynamic a bit. So curious as to what that'll affect.
声も聞こえないからね。
Cause like it bugged me in Anohana because proving it that she she was there, like she could physically affect the world. Like, and literally the pen doesn't work. Like, oh my fucking god, I was so mad. I'm still a little bit mad. Like, Anohana is just it's not oh, we did a week club episode. That was a good one. Oh my fucking god.
そうだよね。
God, I'm just thinking about Anohana again. I brought it up last time, but I really hadn't thought about it. And I know it's like, oh, it's a show that a lot of people really like. But I just I like, and it made me cry. But it just didn't work for me like at all. And it also led to Vindy saying one of the things he said that really stuck with me the most. That has helped me with some of my personal losses of just like one day the fact that this person's gone is just going to be a thing that happened, right? And because and I just that stuck with me. Because he'd gone through a major loss in his life when he was in school, and and of course it affected him and his family a lot. So he just couldn't, but and he couldn't connect that with Anohana. Though he also mentioned I have yet to play Little Busters. But he compared that, like he said, he said that there was even one shot in Anohana that reminded him of one of the CGs in Little Busters. And so I still need to play Little Busters. I have it. I bought it. It's just like 80 hours long, and so I haven't gotten around to it.
バニラのやつなんて言うとるんや。
あ、ね。
そう、やっぱりバニラが
Oh yeah, I guess she could explain herself.
本当にみんなのこと傷つけるつもりはなかったの。愛に手助けしてもらおうと思ったのはだからだし。ねえ、バニラはなんて？
あ、もういちいち通訳するのめんどくさいから。
Bochi's like, that's too much work. I'll summarize. Like,
ほな続けてくれ。
わからないことがいくつかあるんだけど、まずみんなが洗脳されちゃってるってこと。
それはバニラたち修学旅行で鎌倉に向かう途中事故に遭ったでしょ。その直後に何があったのか実はバニラ知ってるの？何があったの？
I guess another Anohana thing, because like I remember one of the things that bugged us when we talked about it was just like the fact that
みんなをヘリで運んで
I don't remember the girl's name, but she died when they were a kid, and they're still like really fucked up about it into high school. More so than her family. Like her little brother is literally like like her mom was fucked up still, but like overall and I just remember that's kind of what prompted. Oh, hi, it's Tanya. That's kind of what prompted Vindy to say that line about what was it? You know, so, when someone dies, it's just a thing that happened. But in this case, they're still kids. Like it literally just happened like a few months ago. So it totally makes sense that they're dealing with the grief of that. But also, it hasn't completely like changed made like the dynamic of their friendship. Like it's there. It's had its effect, but it hasn't like it somehow had like I don't know. It's just I mean I guess people deal with grief differently, but like you know I don't know. I didn't really connect with that aspect of Anohana either. So
例えばキーボードを打ったり本の
oh, she can physically affect the world too.
そんな力じゃとてもじゃないけどロボット軍団にはかなうはずもなく
I guess they already see and they already believe her though, or believe them about her though. So
だからヘリに乗ってついていったら到着したところが
鹿児島の海底遊園地だったと。
その後すぐみんなはあのポートの中に入れられちゃってバニラは思ったよ。これは大変だ。しこたまやべえことになったぞ。だけどバニラの弱っちい霊力じゃポットの扉をこじ開けることなんてできなくてしょうがないからその場を離れてみんなを助ける方法を探し始めることにしたんだ。ほらバニラって幽霊さんじゃない
so Vanilla's been around basically the whole time, but unfortunately she's a child, so she doesn't well I guess I don't know, maybe now she can explain some things, but also
コンピューターとか資料とか手
I don't have high expectations due to her personality, like you know, wait, oh she does remember some things. Alright, she's already surpassed my expectations.
洗脳が完了したら扉は自動的に開く仕組みになっている。3、その洗脳を解くためにはもうダメだ死ぬって思うぐらいの危機感をみんなに与える必要がある。例のデスゲームを計画したのはだからなんだ。ベースにしたのはバスの中で見たあのちょっと気味悪い感じのサスペンス映画。
Oh
この映画のルールをまんまパクらせてもらうことにしてバニラは計画の準備に取り掛かったの。
oh, we have not read Bleach, or I'm still doing the reading.
そして時は
Oh, we're gonna probably talk about it next Tuesday. Is when I expect to talk about it. That's usually when like every other Tuesday has usually been when we've been recording.
あとはまあ
Uh,
知ってる通り
yeah, and I don't mind all the comments, but you know we'll talk about any that catch our interest. I appreciate leaving comments honestly. Although I guess to ask something that I don't maybe you answered it, but what I was curious because during the discussion he mentioned like, oh, Titania, is that a fairy tale reference? And I brought up like, oh, I don't, it's like I was wondering like why specifically or what specifically you were thinking of when you chose the name Titania, I guess, because I don't know, because I was just thinking about it while editing the discussion. I'm like, oh yeah, so I don't know, if you have if you have an answer, I'd be curious.
あれは映画の撮影所で見つけたの。もともとコンピューターで動く仕組みになってたから。
She programmed PLP. She made, and now she's like a fucking horrific monster chasing them.
扉に鍵をかけたり
What a hard worker.
手伝ってもらったんだ。
それじゃあ関西やニョロが出会ったっていう大阪のピエロ
She's gonna be like, oh what?
それはバニラとは無関係なの。
Uh-oh.
多分マイクが改造しちゃう。
Oh, okay. So the cult was yeah, they would have done the brainwashing too, I guess.
神様のことだよね。
Okay, well that links some of the elements. I was literally just talking about like, oh, how are these disparate elements gonna be worked into each other? And then the yep, there it is. That's what I was waiting for.
それが違うみたいなの。マイクは人工知能 AI なんだよ。 AI？ なんか日本人の天才科学者が作ったらしくって。
I guess it makes sense that she didn't want to talk before because like let's say she told Rachel, Pochi, and Pai all this shit.
その科学者が
Oh my god, a genius fucking Neuro's dad made Mike. God damn it. But anyway, I was gonna say it's like it'd probably get really suspicious of like, oh, how do you know this shit, or don't not believe them at all. So
この人はただマイクを作っただけみたい。それが 勝手に暴走しちゃって人類から感
Um,
情を
oh, so it was um, a fairy tale reference. Okay, interesting. Um, I mean, it makes sense. And fairy tale's a popular work, and it's also pretty decent. I like it, and I'm curious about rereading it one day. Yeah. I was gonna mention like, oh wait, a video idea, but it's like, wait, no, I have my Discord for that. So see now, before I mean, not that I'll never talk about video ideas, on streams or podcasts or stuff, but like now that I like, that's like literally kind of a Discord, or a Patreon benefit. So there's a level of like, well, if I just share all my video ideas, then that leaves. I mean, you are a patron, so it's like it doesn't matter. But I basically have potential like Mashima related content in mind.
とにかく悪いのは全部マイクなんだよ。世界をこんな風にしたのもマイクだし、みんなをポットに閉じ込めたのも
Oh, I guess Mike is that big fucking monster thing that we saw at the beginning of the game.
知ってるでしょ。頑張れ組はある特徴を持った子供たちが集められたグループだってこと。感情を失わなかった子供たち。
それが僕ら頑張れく
Huh. What the fuck?
気に入らなかったみたいなんだよね。
What does that mean?
的にはさ。で、みんなをポットに閉じ込めて
The Go-Getters Club was brought together because they were kids who never lost their emotions, which is weird because that doesn't feel like a normal thing that happens. So, and then huh? Oh, more of a general thing. Okay, that makes sense. And you did leave a comment, so we'll be able to talk about it on the podcast. Very nice.
脳の神経回路を。
いじった。
だけど安心して、今はもうちゃんと元通りの状態に戻ってるはずだから。
なるほどね。話は分かったよ。
でもなんで旅の途中で教えてくれなかったの？
Yeah, I definitely want to like. I guess part of the reason I'm interested in potentially making more fairy tale content, is because it has such a bad reputation, and I feel like I haven't gone out of my way to look, but I imagine that it really hasn't changed in the last few years. Like, you know, oh, I made a series shitting on my tirade that still has way more views. No, it's not gonna affect a bunch of people are suddenly gonna make content about how fairy tale is good actually. Right, so because I remember there's still a bunch of observations on the Nen show that individually, like I obviously, like the only one I really want to make a video about was Lucy, because she was my favorite character and I really thought her arc was interesting, and like it was surprising to me that, like, you know, as someone who dismissed fairy tale so hard, like, wait, no, there's actually some real this is really interesting, among other, but there was other interesting things I had to say about fairy tale, and I did on the Nen show. So I feel like a reread, you know, would and also I feel like what I'd probably do is I'd read. I was thinking about just doing a big like Mashima reread, because I read everything that he did before doing the tirade on fairy tale, like extreme levels of fucking hater, right? Because I not only just read Rave and Fairy Tale, I literally went and read like all of his one shots and shorter manga. Because I brought up Starbiter Satsuki. I think I remember bringing that up in one of the old tirade videos, because I didn't like it. I didn't like most of them, frankly. I think on my Mal they still have very low scores. So I probably wouldn't talk. I feel like I'd only talk about Rave, Fairy Tale, and Eden Zero. That's another reason to do a big reread, because Eden Zero's ending, and I'm not into it, frankly. But a reread might change that. So doing like a big Mashima read through, like rereading Rave, maybe, and you know, so seeing what content I could get out of it basically would be the idea.
まだ信じられへんのか。
当たり前だろうが。何度も
Well, she could literally prove it to you, Aniki, by ghosting a book or something.
怖いから。
Oh, that adds to the Aniki Pai dynamic, because like guy who's afraid of ghosts and girl who can talk to and see ghosts, like, and the fact that especially like you know, because he's the edgy guy, but he's like, oh no, ghosts, and she's like a soft, cute girl with like a, oh my god, she's got a the butterfly is a symbol of death. Fuck. That's why they recur in Bleach. The hell butterfly is like, god damn it, I just noticed she's got like a hair clip that's like a butterfly, and she can see ghosts. God damn it. Um, these designs, I swear.
だから例の存在も否定し続けてるんだ。それを認めちゃうとバニラが死んだことも認めざるを得なくなっちゃうから。
違う。俺ははっきりと認めてるさ。俺がバニラを殺したってこと。
なんでそんなこと言うの？
Oh, Black Clover. Oh my god. I like no Black Clover has been really good since like I started it, and I remember being like, I feel like a lot of the negative opinion of it comes from,
そうだって。
I feel like the anime got off to a really bad start because people really did not like Asta's voice performance. And I remember listening to it, and I could see why, but like, you know, I don't know, I was interested, like I was actually pretty surprised because Shaves mentioned that he watched Black Clover, and he thought it was fine. He didn't dislike it. I don't remember how much he liked it, but he definitely didn't dislike it. And I remember thinking that was pretty cool because, you know, he's generally not into, you know, or not, no, I mean, he likes shonen stuff, you know, and it's along it. Yeah, I don't know. It was just neat to hear, just completely out of nowhere. It's like, because when I think of Shaves, is like taste, you know, he loves Legendary Heroes and Ashton and Joe, and of course One Piece, but then just hearing like Black Clover is like, oh, cool, because it does get such a negative reputation. I guess maybe it's more that it's surprising that he watched it at all, because it has such a negative reputation. But
お前らが死のうが
but no, I remember reading Black because I read Black Clover because I wanted to be caught up with everything in Jump in I think it was like 2019, and that was still you know still going in Jump at the time. So and I was like, wow, this is really good. Um, I don't know if it's a series that I'd like make a video about, but not everything has to be content. Like it just be cool. But then again, that see, it's like what kind of decides, I guess, how I decided if I'm gonna make a video or something or not. It's like it's a combination of like how much do I like it, what do I find that's interesting about it, and how much do I think something like what I have to say really needs to be said about it, right? Um, So like sometimes like my upcoming Bleach videos they're kind of all three because Bleach still has a kind of bad reputation generally speaking. I also really like it, and I really 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 fucking find Bleach really interesting. So it's like yes, I'm going to make 3 videos on it, one of them possibly being an hour long. Oh my god, more story. Look, I'm like I like the character, like it's fun. It's fun, but also like I wouldn't mind playing something like actually having gameplay that isn't hitting the A button to move forward dialogue. Um, and I'm not saying that because I like mind it. Like I like visual novels and stuff, but like it's not a visual. Like it's a platformer technically. It just delivers a lot of its story through these long dialogue sequences. So I don't know. It is what it is. But anyway, so anyway, to go back to Black Clover, it's like I like it, but I don't. Again, without rereading it, preferably after it's over, I don't know if I have much interesting to say about it. Because I do think like thus far it's been pretty straightforward. I can't really think of anything major that's like, oh man, everyone has this big misunderstanding about it, and I really need to like dig into it and explain it. Or like with Kimetsu, I think we did the Weeb Clip backlog on it, and I talked about what my video idea would be. But there's like the cultural aspect with the Buddhism and the reincarnation that people don't click with. I think I remember it was Oshinoko, and someone was asking like, "Oh, why does the story need reincarnation or whatever?" And I just or like, is it reincarnation kind of overused or something? I remember mentally comparing that to like dorks. I remember comparing that to like say you do a Looney Tunes joke, or character dies and they go to heaven, and there's the pearly like the big golden gates and the clouds, and like reincarnation is just a part of the mental idea of the after of you know what happens after death in Japanese stories. So it's like getting bothered about reincarnation in a Japanese story is like getting bothered by characters going to heaven in an English in a Western story, right? So like I just remember, so with Kimetsu, people don't think about the story in that way. So like people really didn't like the last chapter, even though like there was like an extra end chapter that came out that I have not read because I've only ever read the original end of the manga. I'm pretty sure, unless maybe that extra chapter was because the last chapter I read was like bonus story with the fire pillar, and then before that it was the reincarnation chapter. I guess spoiling Kimetsu no Yaiba. So that's a series like I like it, and I think it's pretty interesting. But again, it's like if people aren't fucking talking about this, then I need to make that video. But with Black Clover, it's like, well, like I don't know, maybe I could just make a video. Just here's the point of Black Clover, even if it's really really fucking obvious to me. And maybe that is just really like I don't know. I think even talked about it with Hot Boy Spicy a bit because he'll say stuff that's like, well, this felt obvious to me, and then it's like, well, I didn't notice it. I think there's always someone who just isn't going to like get it necessarily, and obviously I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Like I think the fact that people even might emotionally think it's a bad thing, because of this sort of like intellectual elitism people tend to have. Where they use understanding a story and being smart about it as something to hold over others. Like, oh, you don't like Evangelion? I guess you didn't get it. Like that kind of mentality. Like I have a friend who really doesn't like Evangelion, and there's a part of me that like gets into that mindset. But it's like really, mostly I'm not even bothered that he doesn't like it. I'm bothered that he's annoying about it, and he watched it like 9 years ago. He still hates it. Like he has no interest in reassessing his opinion. He has no interest in approaching the series in good faith whatsoever. Like that's what bugs me about it. It's not that he doesn't like Evangelion. It's how he doesn't like Evangelion. So it's like that. But like when I do find someone who does want to understand something better that they didn't get, I want to help them understand it. Like I remember when I read Jigan. Jigan with eight A's after the G is what I remember. Someone in the Twitter thread when I marked it as completed, someone asked me about it, and I just gave a quick explanation of like what I got out of the ending. And again, it was something that like I literally got the point of what it was doing from chapter 1, and it explored that point very well. They're just doing a "oh, you had to be there" kind of thing with explaining Vanilla's jokes. That's fun. See, that's funny. I like that. But anyway, so it's like, yeah, because like I don't know, because I think that like when I think of like thing that's like, if I really just wanted to go fucking crazy making videos, I literally could just make a video on everything, like explaining the point of World's End Club, explaining the point of like Eden of the East. I'm only halfway through it. But like it's just a random thing I watched, and it's like, and that I think there's value in that. But for me, when I have so many other ideas, it's like I don't know if I want to spend that. Like why? Like I guess here, like why would I spend time doing a video on Eden of the East, which is it's a neat show. It's kind of interesting. But like I could be spending that time making my Bleach videos instead, which is a really fucking good manga that I find really, really fucking interesting. And especially when, and going back to Black Clover, where I feel like, especially like, I guess I also worry about, I don't want to be repetitive, I guess. Like I was already worried enough, with because I did my Aizen video and my Shibuya 15 video. Hyper makes it clear. Oh my god, it's a fucking psychedelic. Wait, hold on, they're just gonna do drugs. But it's especially considering the Japanese like negative association with drugs. That like they like, yeah, sure, a mushroom that just makes you see things. Like, hold on, and this is a children's game. They're just gonna make everybody trip balls so they can see vanilla. Hold on, that's so absurd. Oh, that's so funny. Holy shit. Right in this woods. hey, we're in the west part of Tokyo.
ただハイパニティークは幻のキノコ
Anyway,
するのは至難の技
reminded that Mario is a thing. Oh, mushrooms. True, true.
手がかりはあります
At first I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
ハイパニティークは茎の部分が空洞になっていて
Well, I guess I do personally consider psychedelics in a different, like, they're a controlled substance, like a lot of drugs, but and maybe some of them are addictive, but because I've talked about to a friend who's done a lot of drugs and knows a lot about them, and because I've talked about my sense on drugs where I'm just generally I'm not interested, like I don't like, not even like alcohol or weed, like the more socially acceptable ones. The cigarettes are obviously just awful for you. Like I have no real interest in. I don't even fucking drink coffee. Like I have no real interest in gaining a chemical dependency on something. Like that's like why would anyone want for that? Like I already function well enough without coffee.
まずは近くまで行くことが先
Maybe I could function better, sure, but also like I don't need that expense. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem worthwhile to me for me to do it. But he, after talking about it, he said this thing is like, well, like, and I'm kind of like, if I ever get the opportunity, maybe. But like, where because psychedelics can, they you see things from parts of your brain that you're not necessarily like using mentally in the same way, right? Like and like there's a an aspect of exploring your own psyche there, and so I don't know what the perspective on that is Japan, because I assume it's just lumped in with other drugs. But no, another example of, I guess, maybe, I don't know. Well, I guess considering like there's like shiitake mushrooms and stuff that they're like culturally they're just more commonly eaten and or not more commonly eaten, but they're there's that they're food as well. Because I just thought of it, there's a joke in Aikatsu Friends early on where one character gets like a bad throat from talking too much and getting a little sick, and another character goes out into the woods and gets what's translated as a good for your throat shroom. Like it's just literally just the name is just so on the nose. And then she like eats it. The good for my throat shroom was good for my throat, and it's like okay. So I don't know. Also aimed at children, but again, it's like that's more makes me think of the medicinal aspect, not like this mushroom makes you see things that they explain that this hyperamygdala clear has.
さすがはポチね
Anyway, that was the tangent. And to go back to what I was saying is like, yeah, I think it's valuable. Like I as someone who, if I have one good skill, honestly, it's understanding stories. Like not that it's like unique or anything, but I definitely feel like I'm pretty like
話は後や
even seeing other people, like not that like obviously other people can always, even with One Piece, the story I've been with the longest and I understand so well. Other people always come to me with new observations about it, but it's also such an insanely long story, right? Like and I like that there's always you can go a little bit deeper into like I like that, but in a general sense, I just feel like I'm pretty good at just like getting a lot of neat stuff out of the stories I engage with, or at least if nothing else, the bare point, the the basic. Oh my god, Titania, my upcoming Danganronpa video is definitely like some of the most like thorough and like I don't know, I just really like that's one of the reasons I like Bleach a lot, because you can just pick like one element of it and just pull so much out of it. And I feel like with my Danganronpa video, I've really pulled more out of it than I ever would have guessed was there. From even when I did my older videos on it, because a lot of it, that said, a lot of the video, or a fair chunk of the video is revisiting other ideas, but even then, I think I framed them. I just think it's a better video than my old videos, or it will be rather. But so, and of course, I feel like, especially with something I like that much, like it makes sense that I'd be able to, be the person making the possibly what I hope to be the most interesting analysis about something. but obviously, like, even though I get, a lot out of, like, and there are some stories, like, I'm literally interested in making videos on. Narutaru is, it's by the same author as Boku no, where I've just seen some takes from people who, I respect, in some ways, just being like, I don't know what the fuck this is about, or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know, I think I got it, enough of it the first time, and I feel like I can get even more out of it on a reread, like, but it's not a series I love, and it's also not like a clickbait like Naruto, the series nobody understands. Like, I guess, like, I don't know, I don't know that I haven't dug in to see, because that's the other thing is, like, again with Bleach, like, there's so many just like Tumblr analyses and stuff with these, like, really interesting observations from these obscure blogs. Like, in my head, someone out there understands the series, right? But then when there aren't videos on it, it's like, well, even popular stuff like Kaiji. I remember Shaves, on when he did the Weep Club, he was like, there's like whenever he watches a Kaiji video, he's disappointed because it's kind of just saying that they're often saying the same things, or they're not saying particularly interesting things. And I remember being like, what? Because I literally just like decided not to do a Kaiji video, and then he said that, and I'm like, hold the fucking phone. Because I could make a Kaiji video, a good one. And I do have a scripted one. I just need to do a little bit more research first before I feel confident in putting it out there. So it's like, I don't know, maybe I think opening my Patreon and getting support, thank you to Tanya, and any other patrons who are hanging out, is just like, because if I can pay editors, oh my god, this bitch. But if I could pay editors, then I'd like I could literally just like script an Edenese video and just give it to someone. I don't have to, because editing is the part that takes me the longest, like the recording and the gathering the footage and the editing, like that. Like, I can make a script in a at the hotel. I guess I kind of see it now that you mentioned. I didn't think about that earlier. Maybe especially more so that now that she's fucked up. But and I guess actually, that guy's face. Yeah. Well, I guess we can infer now that PLP is related to Mike. Which actually, it's funny when I just say Mike. Like, if you don't have, because I just realized, like, wait, hold on. So Tanya has, if she hasn't caught up, she just has no idea what's going on. If she had, no, I think you, or maybe, unless you've already played the game, of course. But I was just thinking, like, so in my head I'm thinking, like, what? How does this look out of context? But yeah, like, Mike is Maik, but when I say it, it sounds like Mike. So I'm just talking about some guy named Mike, but it's actually like a horrific AI that's done some fucked up shit. Okay, you did play the game, all right. I thought so. I was just like, wait, hold on. I just, thank you for clarifying for me. But anyway, if I'm able to hire editors for things, then I can more easily just like write a script, pass it off, and then spend more time on other videos. And that way I can do more, like, I don't know, because like as far as like I guess, like, obviously, like, Eden of the East video is probably not going to get a lot of views. It's an anime that like started in 2009 and finished in 2010. It was kind of a cult popular show, but it definitely, at least it was known enough to be recognized. Like, I've seen clips about it. Like, I feel nowadays it's relatively obscure, right? Like, it's not a show, and, I have an angle that's interesting. It's also very just political and like culture, like there's some specific cultural anxieties it's discussing and responding to. Yeah, I just, so it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to judge those spectrums of like, do I like it enough? Am I interested enough? And does this video need a thing? I guess with the fourth one of like, do I have the time to make this? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just make a Black Clover video, because why not? Even if, again, even if it feels obvious to me, there's someone who will get something out of it, is what I like to think. Like, even if like, on the whole, like, if someone understands like the core ideas of Black Clover, there might still be like observations that I make that could still be like, oh, I didn't think about that like that, because that's another thing that can happen. So, like I remember when I talked to Hot Boy Spicy, someone who had already made several videos on regarding Wano. Like he watched my Wano video, and I think there were a few things that he got out of it, but the one I specifically remember is at the end where I talk about how oh, the whole series is made of ha arcs because if you string up the whole series together, it becomes ha ha ha. It's a laugh tale. It's a funny story. And he was just like, oh, humbling. I think is the word that he used. That like, because he's not used to seeing talking to other people who less so who understand stories really well, and so and it just like I don't know. It feels good to be the guy who makes these interesting observations, especially about something like One Piece or Bleach, where they're really popular stories. But that's kind of one of the things that like even like in 2022 when I was really feeling like, oh my Jesus Christ, it got way louder for me. Sorry. Oh my God, she's she's fucking Super Sentai mech, but evil. But entirely.
変身をこいつは一筋縄ではいかなそうやな
一体どうすれば
So yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is like maybe I need to just get over that feeling, and you know, but I mean at the very like it's definitely like I don't want to make anything because I remember I was like, oh, maybe I could make a video on Jojo's Adventure and Dio and how his character ties to fate, and I look it up and there's like 3 videos about that. So I'm not saying I'm never gonna make that video, but I'd have to watch those videos first because I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to be more okay with making videos that on topics that are more obvious to me or repeating things, if that makes sense. Or like Black Clover is about friendship. Like there's a part of me that feels that's a little like, yeah, no shit. But that doesn't mean there can't be interesting things or just again observing those smaller connections and stuff can still be interesting. Or just here's the main point. This is why it matters to the story. Like God, there's such a cool moment in the manga where the antagonist who could see the future, but not the elements that have changed because Asta has negative, like magic negating things. It's so fucking cool, Or like I guess there's other way. Like I guess maybe even my Aikatsu video is a neat because oh my God, duh, he's a Super Sentai thing because Tatsun's gonna get his power. That's Super Sentai connected. Okay. Oh, and Shuko can't use her fire breath. Unfortunate. Oh. Uh-oh. But yeah, basically, like, yeah, if there's a need for someone positively to be talking about Black Clover and getting its point across, then maybe that's more valuable than just me saying, something I like, because if I don't find it as interesting as some of my other videos, or I don't like Black Clover as much as other things I'm going to be talking about, but like it's still important for this to be made, so I should make that kind of thing. Like that's probably where I'm at with like Kimetsu, because especially if people have like fucking look, if I reread MHA, even if I just think it's like okay, if everyone is shitting on the ending, I am going to make an MHA video if Mathwooz doesn't, because like apparently people are really like not happy with how the series has been going, and sure there's some reasons to be like I don't know, but like they've probably been really invested in the series for so long, and the fact that it's doing something unexpected is like they don't like that, and they're gonna it's just the big 3 all over again, and I don't want that to happen, even though I don't care for Black Clover, or not Black Clover, MHA right now. So see that's what's funny. Like Titania's, and I'm not saying your feelings are unjustified, but it's like I feel like that's not uncommon. And for me, as someone who kind of hasn't given a shit about MHA, like I there's a level at which I feel like the quality hasn't changed. I feel it like, and I'm what I like. and I feel like on a reread, like with the ending in mind, I could really like piece it all together and be like, oh, okay, like so yeah, and maybe it just wasn't what people were expecting or what they were hoping it to be, or and yeah, obviously, like I'm not gonna say it's complete, like it's there's appeal to the earlier parts of the story that aren't being represented right now because the story's changed. Like that's not unusual. Um, you know, but like again, if ever like what I guess to spoil another video, because Promise Neverland, it very much happened with where people admittedly were starting to fall off of it after the first arc, but I feel like it only got worse and worse, and the anime getting a mediocre season 2 from everything I've heard did not help it. So I have thought about like just straight up doing a defense of Promise Neverland where I like specifically seek out takes and respond to them and try and be like, here's what's because I just thought it was fine. Like I didn't love it, but I thought it was good the whole way through, and but I don't know. It's like Sisyphus and the boulder is everyone's stupid take. So it's not just he's not just pushing a boulder up the cliff. It's just getting bigger and bigger. And I'm like, how the fuck do I don't know.
タッツンがクソ真面目なだけやろ。ほんとタッツンって真面目んじゃよね。
So yeah, I don't know. I just have infinite, video like so many video ideas, and then only increases when I think about things that need videos that I'm just not in the position to make.
みんなおしっこもしたいし、麻雀ゲームも超したい。残虐無慈悲な。
I'm edgy. I'm dark. Stop bullying me. He's so funny. Oh shit. I don't know who that is. Oh, the voice got deeper too. It's not rude. She's gonna fucking cry. Oops. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Like, Penelope's made of metal right now, and he's shooting electricity at them. Maybe they'll die. Jesus Christ. Hero of Justice. He's like it's the we did it, Patrick. We saved the city. Fucking shuck them. Oh, now you're worried about their safety. This fucking game. Okay, the cliffhangers. I mean, I get it. I'd have to think about it more, but also I feel like that's just so common for just jump manga. Like I feel like it's a kind of necessary part of the medium in a sense, just because of how like what chapter doesn't end off on some kind of big reveal or twist or cliffhanger, and in such a dramatic situation, like cliffhangers just make the most sense right now. Like, not that I get why it bugs people. Like I feel like the one I especially would love industry insider opinion on is death fake outs, because like when I think about like One Piece, one of the biggest instances of a cliffhanger that quote unquote didn't matter next chapter was the Bad End musical. And like I remember getting a Curious Cat question because I mentioned really liking that chapter like well after it had, a few months after it had dropped, and someone was like, "How can you still like that chapter after it just undid the Straw Hat's dying horrifically, or the ship getting destroyed. And I was like, well, what about the rest of the chapter? Like the musical element and how that worked with the visuals. Like it's such a good chapter to read. I like it a lot. Like, but obviously most of the reputation that chapter has now is because it promised this bad end musical, this bad end for the Straw Hats after this arc, and then it led to the big moment with Jinbei separating from the crew, and sacrificing himself in the moment so that the Straw Hats could move on, and it was still a good follow up chapter, like like Luffy being a captain and just like as your captain Jinbei, I'm ordering you to come back, even if you'll die. Or I forget exactly what he says, or don't die. Yeah, I forget. Like it's cool. It was cool. But like, just think about, because like, if anything, that's kind of the reason we do have those chapters, because they prompt discussion. Like I assume with MHA, one of the examples you're meaning of is because there was I think it was literally like not the most recent chapter, but the one, or at least by most recent I mean like, okay, there's a chapter that's going to come out on Sunday, tomorrow. I have not read that chapter because I imagine it's been fan translated by now because it's fucking MHA. The chapter before that, the 2 chapters before that, Deku was very injured, and the chapter after that, said injury was fixed. Right? So I assume that's kind of what you're talking about with like big cliffhanger, and then not mattering in the next chapter, like that kind of stuff. And like, I guess like to read it from more of the meta, like this is like, yeah, the fact that these things happened are to generate discussion, are to generate interest. Because if you get people talking about the story, they're going to be more invested in reading next week. But obviously, but then, it's not being followed up on. I can see that being disappointing, or dissatisfying, especially, right? So yeah, I understand exactly where you're coming from. I guess it doesn't bother me as much, maybe, but and maybe especially not for MHA, because like I'm not super invested in MHA. Like I guess actually think about it, this is probably the most invested I've been in it since some of the Endeavor stuff. And obviously when I first got into the series and really liked it. But I don't know, I just kind of think I'm going to reread MHA and I'm going to like it more. Maybe probably not much more, but maybe some more. Okay, it's more about it happening over and over. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, because I can't really think of any MHA examples aside from the recent one with that I just mentioned with Deku getting injured and then healed. That wasn't really a cliffhanger though. I mean, it was. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not remembering the chapter. Anyway, I get to be Power Ranger. I just said the no word as a Super Sentai fan. No words. God, I just remembered. Like just the pet peeve, I guess. But I really don't care for the English official title for Sentai Daishikaku, which I just call it Ranger Reject. But like the English title being more referent to Power Rangers with Go Go Lose a Ranger, I really just am not a fan. It doesn't roll off the tongue as well as Ranger Reject, and again it has that deference to Power Rangers where it's like I get it. It's recognizable. It's fucking Power Rangers. Like, that's the catchphrase from Power Rangers, right? Like, the theme song. Go, go, Power. Like, come on. I get it. But I just vastly... Like, it's out of the 3 titles, it's easily my least favorite. Like, I'd much prefer... it's like Ranger Reject, Sentai Daishikaku, and then Go Go Lose a Ranger. I just don't... I don't like... I don't... It doesn't even really... Like, I mean, I guess, like... I don't know. It's Ranger Reject to me, and I don't even. It's not even a series. I dropped it ages ago. I wasn't into it. At least not reading it weekly. I kind of like lost the thread of what was going on. God, Ombre, I see you fucking rewatching Super Sentai and Precure seasons that you've already watched, because which is so funny to me. It's like, oh man, I finished Super Sentai, Precure, Kamen Rider, and Ultraman. What do I do now? Rewatch them, I guess. But I just thought I'd be very morbidly curious to see how you feel going through Power Rangers, because like in my head, Power Rangers is just, I can't imagine it being something I enjoy now, because and the main reason I'm thinking about it is because I remember talking about it, and someone posted a clip of the Magna Defender's death scene in Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. And I remember watching it, I'm like, this is literally just a shitty dub of the oh I was not paying attention at all. Okay, that's being a little mean. It's just kind of a dub of the same scene in Gingamon. Um and like the way especially it ends after the scene is because like this, okay, both Lost Galaxy and Gigamon open with with um um the way you say oh, I'm watching Kamen Rider Zio, like it sounds like that's like the last Kamen Rider series you need to see and you're fucking done. You're just, I'm not done. I have one show left. Shut up. Like, you watched 54 years of Kamen Rider. You're only missing the 55th, like, anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so, like, both Gingamon and Lost Galaxy open with, the Red Ranger loses her older brother, who is originally going to be the Red Ranger, and they're just presumed dead for the rest of until like halfway through the story, where they're basically the Black Knight / Manga Defender is inhabiting their body and whatever, and then after that character sacrifices themselves, uh, okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, and then the older brother character comes back. In Lost Galaxy, he's like, "Oh, I missed you," and he hugs his brother, and sure, it's fine, I guess. In Gigamon, Ryoma fucking breaks down crying in his brother's arms because he's kind of been forced to be a leader for so long. Like, he wasn't chosen for this position, and he's kind of been forced into it due to the circumstances. He and maybe there's a similar scene in Lost Galaxy, but there was in Gingamon. He's talking to the Black Knight, and the Black Knight's like, trying to bargain with Ryoma about his brother, and he chooses the mission first, aside over getting his brother back. And like, he literally gives up on his brother after he's having a chance to him. So of course he fucking breaks down his brother's arms. And I just remember like thinking about that scene in Gingamon, and then watching the the Power Rangers version of Lost Galaxy, and I'm just like, this is like one of the most like well-loved scenes in Power Rangers, and it's just a mediocre version of the Gingamon scene. And I'm literally just like thinking about like, there's no I like, and I don't get me, like, I liked our Power Rangers RPM, right, so like, and that one came out like, oh yeah, that came out like well after I stopped watching Power Rangers, and I read about it, thought it was interesting, and it's like, okay. So generally speaking, like, there, even if it like peaks at 7 out of 10, but like, I don't know, just think about Power Rangers. It's like there's no way I watch all of it and go like, oh yeah, Power Rangers. And I'm interested in it as an adaptation because it takes and transforms so much of Super Sentai, like turning Mega Ranger into Power Rangers in Space based on a misunderstanding. Like it sounds, Jesus Christ, Tatsun's so fucking toxic to Chuko. Holy shit. uh, anyway, so I don't know. It's just like, look, I mean, Ombre, I think of your disgusting powers for completion, and I just think about like, like, what if you just went through all the Power Rangers? Um. No, yeah, I think it's yeah. No, I see. I mean, like, because I mean, you mentioned like, oh, not wanting to look dumb later. Like, no, I understand. Like, yeah, you made your issue very clear to me. And I wanted to add my thoughts on it and like why I personally don't try not to mind as much when it comes to like the cliffhangers or the death fake outs and stuff. But like, because your feelings are your own, and I'm really glad like you mentioned earlier about like how you really liked my Gridman video. And I also really like that video. You know. um, so just like, I don't know, much prefer spreading positivity, and you know, even if it's like, I think my Yu Yu Hakusho videos example where it's like, I don't love Yu Yu Hakusho, but I still wanted to make a video on it because, like, partly because I read it on the Nensho, but also because, like, especially the last arc, people are not happy with, and they generally consider it to be the weakest part of the series. Maybe not the weakest part, but a weak part of the series. And I remember thinking, hey, it's actually kind of interesting. You know, obviously it's not my favorite arc in the series by any stretch, but I still wanted to get my take on that arc out there, and I did so through Yusuke's character arc, which was thus my video. And it also worked because I was able to do the paired videos for Nun, and he edited both of them, and and I remember Shaves even says, like, I think I like Nanbanji's one better than Crowdsource one, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool, because maybe that's the fact that my heart wasn't in that video, so to speak, because it's like, I did want to make that video, but it was I guess that Yu Yu Hakusho video is an example of like what I would want to do with, like, say a series like Black Clover that doesn't get near, or Fairy Tail, like, which, going back to what started this discussion, of just like like doing videos on things I care less about than like my absolute favorites, or the things I find really, really fucking interesting, because I feel like they need that, more because I think is something inherently positive about, like, here's this thing, it has a point, like, there's a value to this, like, because I think it's easy to be dismissive of, like, oh, is it saying anything new or unique or interesting? The answer is no, because we have fucking literal millennia of philosophy to look. Oh, I did not see that hole there. Tatsu just fucking died. Oh no. So it's like what ideology can a series offer that wasn't in? Is it? Oh, this is supposed to give light. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do, yeah, and I just shot lightning back at my friends and they're gonna die. Cool sticker. So I guess my Yu Yu Hakusho video is more like what I'm thinking about in regards to, like, because I and I don't think it's a bad video, but I definitely don't think I was as invested in the subject matter as I have been for other videos that I've done. And was doing around the time period. Like, I don't know, especially think of, like, my Jetman video and my Aikatsu Stars video a lot, because those were just examples of, like, I watched a thing, and I made a video about here's the point of the thing. Like, honestly, like, yeah, making toku videos, like, I don't know, TokuTube is definitely a thing, and I'm sure there's some examples of, but, like, just, like, because when I did my Toku month, I specifically chose shows that, like, should be 15, was one because that show had particularly, like, the ending I literally didn't get, and I had to go back through and get it, basically, like, not through the whole show. I just thought about it, and I looked, rewatched a couple scenes, and so part of the reason I made that video was because, like, well, if I didn't get it, as someone who is honestly pretty, to toot my own horn, I'm pretty good at understanding stories. Like, if I don't understand it, then there's probably a worth in discussing it and helping other people understand it after I've failed to, and then fix. It didn't take me that long to get it, but I more so than usual is what I'm trying to get at. Where the Jeed, Redman, and Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger, and those videos, it's like especially like Jeed and Redman, or no, Jeed and Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger is like, I love these shows, so I want to talk about them. With Redman, it's like, this show is funny, so I want to talk. And I've known about the Redman meme for a while, and of course, I just wanted to share the meme basically. Dairanger was, I guess, like, of the shows I've been watching, it was really interesting. So it's like, even if ultimately, like, I had some negative things to say about it, because I just didn't like how what is it? The Neo Gore? I don't even remember what they're fucking called. But the fact that, like, they have this unsustainable antagonist that represents this sort of unsustainable, like, system, and then they're still there at the end, was weird for me. So maybe I didn't even make a whole video about it. But I did want to share because like the other part, like the other aspects of the show, like a lot of the character arcs are just really good. It's just the ending that doesn't land for me. Um, so, but yeah, it's like I don't know. Maybe there's some tokus out there that don't have analysis videos on that. Just here's the fucking point. Um, that said, I feel like if they do, it's less likely going to be the popular ones. Maybe one day I'll do like a analyzing every Precure season or whatever, and just do a big video talking about all the core ideas of every Precure season. um, though I guess that would involve rewatching most of Precure, which kind of defeats the which I'm not because I'm not I don't know if I could any non-franchise toku you might check out. I think Chenjirion, I want to say, is one I've heard positive things about it from someone I knew a while ago who liked Toku, and it was like one of his favorites. Maybe I'm misremembering the title. That said, there's not as many for sure. Just not that come to immediate mind. I probably have my randomizer because like there's just like Toku is so I feel like Toku is less centralized. Well, okay, it's more centralized in that like people talk about Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and Super Sentai to a lesser extent, like Garo, I guess. But like other than that, I feel like there's maybe I'm not really in the Toku discussion, right? But I feel like whenever I see it, it's mostly about like the big franchises and especially the stuff that's ongoing or recent, right? Like obviously, because well, if you're talking about recent ongoing Toku, the ones that are getting subs are going to be the ones from those franchises, the 4 franchises. So when you talk about the older stuff, it's not like with anime. I feel like there's going to be shows that people always recommend. I think we were actually talking about it. I think on Baccano because the Weeb Club discussion on Baccano because. When I got into anime, it was one of those shows that people were like, "Hey, you need to watch Baccano," right? With like Steins Gate and Monica and Gurren Lagann. It wasn't the first recommendation, but it was up there. It was a well-respected show, and now I feel like it's kind of like no one talks about Baccano anymore. No one knows about it because it's just an old show that was good, but it's not relevant. And there's so much coming out. Like there's always new anime to talk about, right? Like nowadays, I'd say it's Frey Ren and Brayren and what are those going to do? Okay. Dungeon Meshi are 2 recent shows that are getting lots of discussion. So when you're talking to some I think Hot Boy Spicy recommended oh fuck, I was not paying attention. Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood, and Death Note as shows to recommend. Like those were ones he recommended specifically to a new anime fan. So we all have those shows that we think of when we okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. But there's definitely shows that are going to be less talked about, and shows that escape the kind of But anyway, what I was getting at was Toku. I feel like doesn't have as many within those franchises. Obviously, it's going to have like Samurai Sentai Shinkenger. I know people like. Both of us like Lupin Ranger vs. Pat Ranger. Jetman's pretty popular. So I feel like a lot of people don't watch Toku outside of the franchises, so I don't hear about any or think about them very much. Like Changeling, partly it's because I know one guy who really liked it, and then you know of it because of which is like, oh, I like all those shows that you mentioned, so it's like I probably like Changeling too. I was about to say because I did start watching Blue SWAT a while ago, and it was translated, but that's Metal Heroes. So it is it's not one of those big franchises. So in that way, it doesn't feel like I feel like no one get like people know about Metal Heroes. Not even, no, that's a lie. That's a fucking lie. Maybe in Toku communities, but overall, it feel like they might as well not be part of a big franchise because they're not as connected and they're relatively obscure, maybe less obscure than a lot of the other random titles. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Honestly, you probably know more about just like the Toku community's general opinions than I do, much more. So, oh, duh, I just realized he's Electro Ranger Black because he wants to be an edgy boy. um,
ちょっとタッツン大丈夫？ねえしっかりして。
yeah, Titania, that's well, mostly the first one where it's like if they like something I don't like, just good for them. Um, though with me, when when someone dislikes something, um, it kind of depends on the person and the attitude they're taking with it. Like I mentioned, my friend earlier, who he doesn't like Evangelion, and I was kind of like he's not interested in engaging in it in a good faith way. So I just don't want to talk to him about it because like I know why, but because like the characters aren't written well. Well, he's like I don't know, he hasn't watched the show in 9 years. He's not gonna be able to explain why. I don't think he's right, but I'm not gonna get anything out of like because he's already decided what he thinks, and he's and I just don't want to engage with that. Right. So and generally speaking, like if it's someone random, like I'm not really particularly interested why some random person doesn't like it, unless it's very specifically like something like with the Promised Neverland. I do have thought about doing a Defense of Promised Neverland video. So I in that case I would want to know some of the reasons why people dislike it if I want to respond to them specifically. But generally I don't really care, I guess. But if it's a friend and like if I'm like on the Weeb Club, like we've talked about stuff we don't like, some of us don't like, right? And we've engaged with each other, and like, and I try to like like with you saying you don't like the cliffhangers thing and MHA and doing it so often, like yeah, I understand why you didn't like it. I gave my perspective on it. I'm not expecting it to change your mind because like yeah, that's normal to not like things. I also just don't I try not to dwell on things I don't like as much. Neverland, the manga, the anime, I'm pretty sure. I obviously okay. I understand why people don't like season 2 of the anime. That's not, but I'm pretty sure people generally don't like the manga either past the first arc. Not maybe not generally, but I know that there's like I mostly the most recent instance of me coming into contact with this was I think Shaves brought up Promised Neverland on one of the Anime digests, and he mentioned how it's like, yeah, you don't like the series after this opening arc. Yeah, it's like it's not new to him. Like it's a very common take. He in fact like and from the sounds of it, he hadn't really heard anything else. You know, and that felt like it wasn't just about the anime, but it was specific. Like I don't remember which Anime digest it was. Okay, after Goldie Pond. Okay. Some people did like Goldie, because Goldie Pond was the one with the hunter guy who was really cool. But I think the last arc was good too. Personally, like I thought, like yeah, and so I specifically wanted to defend the manga. Like I'd probably obviously like look, I mean maybe for the sake of my understanding and integrity, like I'd probably watch the anime because I'm curious because people really like season 1 of the anime. I've heard it and I'm kind of curious about some of its differences and tweaks, even though overall it covers the same material. So I might, if I do this Promised Neverland video, I might watch and reread it just for perspective. But that's kind of the only instance where I'd really go out of my way to dislike. Okay, both are past them leaving the house. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, at least what Ombre is saying is like I feel like it's more of like it's just a gradual falling off where like yeah, for both it's like yeah after that first arc of them in the house. And then with the manga, a little, it kind of drops off more. I mean, I think that happens with everything, right? Like with One Piece, like everyone, like basically since the fucking Paramount War, fucking even like people were Skypiea, people weren't big on Skypiea. Davy Back fight is still not very. It's fucking the 10 chapter. Get over yourselves. It's just no more like 20 chapters, but but I feel like after like Water 7 and the War, it's like Fishman Island sucks, Dressrosa, Well, now people like it, but it sucked back then. Whole Cake Island, well, now people like it, but it sucked back then. Maybe, you know, like there's and Wano, of course, now people are angry about it. Egghead, people are getting angry about it. I think from what I've heard. You know, but like that's you know, there's every the longer series goes on, the more it has a chance to lose people. Like even if it's like I think it's pretty uncommon for a series to just be like, and even if it does, like Kimetsu ended, you know, and was pretty well liked, but then you know, maybe at least with the anime, people see, like there's a video that has 1 million views of someone saying Kimetsu bad. I don't know what that video says. I don't know any of its points, but like you know, it just seems very common or normal to me, I guess, at this point, just to say like, oh, you know, to have that sort of just down tilt into a this key is just to make a one shot. Yeah, there we go. So on to some, basically what I'm saying is to some degree, like people losing thread of it the longer it goes is just normal, especially while it's ongoing. You know, but like that's just normal. But yeah, so but I like again with Promised Neverland, my personal take was like I thought the whole thing was good. Like I didn't think the last arc was the worst thing ever by any stretch. I don't remember how I'd rank the arcs, but I you know especially but if that opinion is uncommon and basically like it's not strongly represented on YouTube, you know, then like there's a reason to discuss Promised Neverland, even if it's like it's ultimately a series that I think is okay. Like I think it's good. I think it's good. I think I have it had it at a 7 out of 10. That's a good score. I liked it. But if I had it as a 10 out of 10, and people were still being, I'd be even more driven. I'd have made that video already because I've been really just frustrated with the reputation the series has got. Like I guess the comparison, Nisekoi also kind of has a negative reputation in a lot of areas, and I think it's phenomenal. So that one I've been planning on making a video on for way longer than Promised Neverland. You know, so. But I guess my other issue is that I'm just so disconnected from the community that, like, I kind of don't even hear a lot of opinions, especially like older ones. Like Promised Neverland isn't relevant anymore. The anime's like it's like the manga ended, the anime ended. And you know it's not a hot button topic for discussion anymore. You know, so and when it comes to stuff that's like I do very little stuff that's ongoing or recent. Like One Piece is one of the only exceptions that I ever made videos about while it was ongoing. Like I'm there's got to be something else. I did talk about Lupin Raven versus Pat Ranger in my plot device character video while it was ongoing. But it's very rare that I do that. Like even my Toriada and Fairy Tail, like the manga ended very close to when that started. So it's just very infrequently made. Like I guess I've made stuff that's like close to when it ended. But you know, it's very rare for me to be on the, you know, cutting edge of the conversation. So. Oh, 2 powers in 1 level? Oh. Okay. Oh, choice. Wait. Okay. I can't press the emergency button? Aw, oh, bitch. What? What the fuck? Who got spotted? What? I don't know what the fuck just happened. So, I imagine... Well, okay, so, I mean... Uchikoshi is involved in this game, so there's part of me that thinks, like... is wondering if maybe going back and doing the other choices will be part of the game, and that was sort of alluded to in the opening. Because well, I don't know. What? God damn it! I was like, oh, after this section we'll end it, but it's like, can I really end it there? I can go a little longer. Um,
レイチョか。何しに来やがった。
but yeah, maybe having my server would be nice, because like I don't want to quite get to the point with Alex, because Alexander will literally just like, oh, if you're a patron for this long, I'll make a video that you want me to make, and he'll like negotiate with you on regarding like the topic of the video and stuff.
同じくよ。
So I don't know if I want to do that, but even just like having people to like who maybe are more aware of the general discourse and stuff, to talk about potential video ideas with, and because I don't even know if I'd reject like ideas, like, because the problem with like getting video ideas, especially ones where like that's not even just the topic, but like like I can remember Lindsay Ellis getting people asking like, oh, okay, like they wanted like a moral reason to dislike Avengers Endgame or something like that, and she's just like, what? Because she doesn't care for I don't think she cares for very little of the MCU. It was like Loki and Guardians and maybe some of the other things, right? But she was definitely baffled seeing the baffled with like that example take of just someone like wanting her to shit deciding that opinion for her basically, and when like yeah, which is dumb, right? I don't think anyone would do that, but like there's definitely a lot. I don't know how I would do that. I definitely opened a server thinking about that. So I don't know. I'll probably talk about a lot of these topics generally when I do that video of me talking about my video ideas for my server. So yeah.
見て、あそこ。あいつ、前の車両に飛び移るつもりや。
させるか。
なんでそこまでして前の車両に。
なんやようわからんけど裏切り者がいるとかなんとか。
とにかくこのままじゃまずい。なんとかしないと。
なんとかって言ってもどうすれば。
I don't know, maybe as an experiment, I'll try like when I finish something, I'll sit down and like, can I make a script about this? And see what happens. And if it doesn't happen, just throw it away. It's in the trash. But if it does happen, maybe it'll be a video. And especially, I don't know. I need to like get a cabal of editors too. Because like my biggest issue with editors is like, because there's some videos like my Aikatsu videos, like I don't know anyone. I know like no one else who's actually watched all the Aikatsu, let alone someone who's watched it and can edit videos. Oh, that's right, the F-bomb.
ここちっぴー。なんやねんそれ。説明してる時間はないわ。とにかくレイチョ、これを投げて。あのポイントのレイチョをぶつける。
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking about videos as always. Not always, but often.
私の合図に合わせて。行くわよ。3、2、1、今よ。
よっしゃ
ストライクやレイチョ。どうや、参ったか。
ー。これだけ距離が開いちまえば、もうあいつらに手出しはできねえだろ。
All right, the groups. Oh, I guess the group splits up based on which choice you make. Okay.
しょうがないから君たちと遊んであげるよ。遊ぶって何して遊ぶのかな。
電車ごっことか。
いねいいね。それって車両になってくれるってことでしょ。そしたら君たちのことこの体にくっつけてあげるよ。いいやだ。
ほんとさ
Back on the tracks.
脱線するとは思わなかったわ。
あの線路途中でひん曲がっちまってたからな。多分地震のせいだと思うが。
そやけどまあみんな無事やったんやし、ええやないか。
Okay, hopefully maybe that was the shorter section.
ピエロピのや
Uh,
つ吹っ飛ばされていっちゃったしね。それにしてもピエロピって本当何なのかしらね。バニラはマイクに改造されたロボットだって言ってたけど。
マイク、世界をこんな風にしちまった正体不明の AI か。
ほんまそんなやつおるんかいな。
バニラも詳しいことはわからない。
yeah, it looks like we're about coming to the end of the stream. So sorry that you came in at the very end, Colin. Again, I mean, wait, this is even earlier than before, so you know, it happens, I guess.
ってあれ、今気づいちゃったんだけどさ。兄貴、私がバニラのこと話しても怒らなくなったんだね。
なあ、ちょっとな。
なんやねんちょっとって。
別にいいだろ、なんだって。
まあ、いいじゃない。深く詮索しなくてもさ。そうだね。
Cool. If anyone has anything else they want me to talk about before I call the stream, let me know. Oh, you'll hear the at the first 5 minutes too. Okay, yeah, you didn't say anything in chat, so I was not sure.
ここらで本当にやってんのかよ、この線路で。
ああ、他のみんなは間違いなくこの線路上を進んでったはずや。
でも、機関車も戦闘車両も見当たらないよ。あれからだいぶ歩いたのに。トランシーバーの呼びかけにも全く応じる気配はないしね。
何があっても絶対にブレーキはかけるな。二両目に飛び移る前にワイがそう言うといたからかもしれん。
その言いつけを律儀に守って。とにかくそろそろ日が暮れちゃうわ。今日はこの辺でキャンプするしか。他のみんなのことはどうするの？
大丈夫、絶対無事や。
きっとあいつらのことだ。今頃のんきに頑張れ組の歌でも歌ってんだろ。
だといいんだけど。
Oh god, I only just realized Nero's been walking on heels for this entire time. They're fucking halfway across the country. Jesus. Okay. Oh, and we're starting off next time with another camp, but it's a much shorter looking camp because there's only 4 other characters. Dwarf's Craft, yeah, hi Nova Arc. You have awful timing because I'm calling the stream. So thanks for popping in at the very end. Really unfortunate because I gotta go eat and I have work in a little bit, like an hour or two. Not sure because I don't know exactly when it's gonna happen, but yeah, thanks everybody who did show up. Thank you for giving me things to think about regarding you know, my channel as is like well, I mean, I guess one advantage of streaming the games is that I already have all their footage recorded. So if I really decide to do a World's End Club video, I'm good. I mean, I feel like video games, like that's one of the things I've been thinking about watching Jacob's Geller's channel, is because like there's just definitely this thought of like you know, how much, not that there's zero things for me to say about video games, but I feel like with a lot of the ones I play, maybe like I don't know. I either already have content in mind for that. Like with my Shin Megami Tensei video, I'm gonna talk about all my favorite characters from the individual games. You know, but I don't know. I definitely like. I'd have to play way more video games and be like more video games that are recent to talk about them like he does. But like, so I don't know what people did talk about World's End Club. Was it just a bunch of reviews? Like, did anyone have anything interesting to say? Is there going to be enough interesting to me about the game for me to say anything about it? I don't know. I'm having fun, but very much like that's I wish it's not like a great game or one that I'd recommend, but like I've talked about my issues with it. My issues, it's like it's a children's game. I understand that. I'm able to like suspend myself and just like enjoy the character interactions for what they are, and be interested in the mystery elements because its story's a lot so far. In a like oh my god, apocalypse, AI, fucking ghosts, like it's neat. I'm having fun. But anyway, so yeah, thanks everybody who came in, and yeah, I'm gonna call it there. Yes, it does have that same art style as Pokemon games. It has the same character designer. I forget their name, but they did especially Gen 6 and 7. Yes, it's very much. We talked about that a while ago, but yeah, no, it really shows. And it's neat. I do like the character designs. But anyway, all right. So yeah, thanks for joining me, everybody. As I say goodbye once again. Have a good one. I'll see you sometime next weekend when I'll do part 5. I'll correctly number the stream this time. So yeah, have a good one, everybody. Oop,